Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture. I'm Dad, this is my den, and hopefully this video doesn't look a little odd, but the light that I bought for illuminating these videos pooped out on me today. After 6 months. I use this thing maybe once a week for maybe about 30 to 40 minutes, and it's already not working. And I don't mean it's burned out. I mean it just won't turn on and stay on. So I rigged up a few lights in here. Hopefully this looks okay. So yeah, obviously I will be going to Amazon and leaving a review soon. So today is the May toy haul. So these are some of the figures that I've picked up over the last month or so that I wanted to share with everybody. And I got a few good ones. All action figures this time. No adventure people, none of that. And we're going to be going back in time on this one. Starting with the most recent, we'll go backwards to the oldest of these particular toys. So to start off with, this is a line that I just found out about recently, watching a different YouTube video out there, and I can't remember who did it, which I apologize for. But it's the Marvel Famous Covers series, produced by ToyBiz, round about 1997. It began in 97, went for, I think, a couple, 3 years. And they were pretty intriguing. They're, you could say, Mego-style figures. They're about 9 inches tall, cloth clothing. And from the ones I've got, uniformly good quality, but not all of them sculpt-wise are to my liking. I got into comic books in around the mid-'80s. I stayed interested in current comic books until the early 90s or so. And after that point, I started getting more interested in Bronze Age and Silver Age stuff. The newer stuff, I wasn't in love with the art. It just, I don't know. It was a different style from what I was used to with the artists I was used to. So it kind of got me out of comic books. Now, some really good artists, they came in through the 90s, and I'm sorry to say I missed a lot of them, and I'm now sort of looking back up their work. But the ToyBiz line, some of the sculpts kind of, carry the sins of 90s extreme comic books, and they look a little bit goofy. But there are a few of them that I particularly like, and was very happy to get. Let's start off with the one that I got that unfortunately has some damage on it. I might need to get a different version of this one at some point. It's one of those cases where it looked a little bit less damage to me in the pictures, but hey, that's life. Buyer beware. So this is Iron Man, of course. You see the damage to the helmet area, but otherwise in good shape. Man, this dude is hefty. He's chunky. You got the plastic, with the gloves and the boots and the chest plate and the helmet. The helmet does come off. I am honestly a little nervous to mess with it, he says, as he starts nervously messing with it on camera. We're going to leave that alone. But this is the classic Iron Man design, probably my favorite armor design of Iron Man. Again, it's chunky, it's good, it's easy to pose, high quality materials all throughout. Huge fan of it. Let's see, is there any chance I can stand this up here without it falling over on camera when I inevitably bump this desk? We'll see. So we got Iron Man. Next up, we got Black Widow. The face sculpt on this one I'm not in love with, but you got rooted hair. The costumes, it's fantastic. We got the stingers, the belt. This is probably my favorite of the Black Widow costume designs. Just great. The you got plastic boots with sort of a, I don't know, yeah, it's like a stirrup to keep the tights on. I kind of like this. I love Migos, but the Migo female figures oftentimes they look a bit awkward because of the way the body's shaped. And sometimes the costume, the way they design it, I'm not always a big fan of. But this feels kind of comic book accurate. Honestly, I really like it. Oh wow, she's standing up like perfectly. Okay, I got to scoot back from this desk so I don't destroy everything. Next up, one of my favorites from the line, and one of my favorite comic books of all time, The Mighty Thor. Again, maybe a little bit odd on the face. But, man, you got the hammer, you got the cape, you got the helmet. It's a really nice piece. And again, this guy is heavy. He's chunky. He's got, great. I mean, the only thing that could probably make these better, in my opinion, would be if they were 8 inches tall and scaled perfectly with the Migos. Because the sad thing is Migos had the license, and Figures Toy Company as well, to do a lot of DC characters. So we've gotten a lot of DC characters in that Migo format that look great, but not Marvel. I wish they could pick up a Marvel license and we could get some new Marvel stuff, but alas, we can't. So we got these 9-inch figures instead of the 8-inch. Now, next one up that I got, and the last one I got, although I think I'm going to try to get a hold of Hawkeye, because I like that one as well. This, I think, is my favorite in terms of the sculpt. This is Storm in her classic costume. And, I mean, the face sculpt on this one is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's really beautiful. They did such a nice job on this one. You got the cape attaches to the wrists, like in the comics. You got, again, the rooted hair, white. I think this is my favorite one of the bunch. Just in terms of it's just a really perfect sculpt for the Storm of that era. Really nice. Let's see if I can get her to stand up. I got Black Widow to stand up on these. Oh, there goes the. Well, I got one figure in high heels to stand up. I'm going to go ahead and just cut my losses there. So, anyways, these are the ToyBiz famous covers. One of the things that attracted me to the series, honestly, was that the pricing is pretty darn good. For figures that are over 20 years old now, and in good a shape as most of them are, you can get some deals on this. Some of them are more expensive than others, but I got Storm and Black Widow and Thor all in their boxes. Iron Man I got loose, but it was kind of hard to find one of those, and I really wanted it, so I went ahead and did it. But yeah, these are fantastic. So I mean, if you're a big Marvel fan, and they got a pretty extensive range, a couple different versions: Spider-Man, Venom and Carnage, Doctor Doom, the Green Goblin. They got some of the X-Men that look more like the movies in the 90s. Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic. Alas, no thing. I wanted Ben Grimm. They have a Hulk that's pretty good too. Yeah, so there you go. A good line, and I'm very pleased with these, and I think they're going to look great. I'm going to be working on my display. I'm going to try to get some shelves up in here, or at least maybe one shelf, so I can lift some of these figures up and make them easier to see in these videos. And so I'm looking forward to these. Okay, so let me put these down. I'll let the two gals hang out over here, because I know I'm going to knock these over at some point. So let's go back in time now from 1997 to 1979. Mattel Battlestar Galactica. I just picked these figures up. They got delivered like a couple days ago. I haven't gotten to play with them a whole lot. The quality on one of them's pretty good. The other one's a little, so I might try to replace that one someday. But I got a spectacular price on these on a bid, so I went ahead and went for it. So these are the 12-inch Battlestar Galactica figures. Now the Cylon is missing a piece that goes over this area, sort of silver. This one, the head piece is a little tarnished. See, I don't know if we can get the head close enough. You can, maybe you can almost make out a little red eye going back and forth. Cylon Cyclops. It only took me 40 years to figure it out. So these are battery operated. I have not tested these yet. Like I said, I just got them. But the battery, I think, shines a light from these lasers that they have. Obviously, these are from apparently major Matt Mason molds. The Cylon obviously not super accurate to the TV show, although the helmet's nice. It's a little oversized, and I noticed that if I hold it back, of course it won't do it now on camera, but the head tends to, there we go, the head tends to turn backwards. But if I'm displaying it, that's okay. Man, I loved Battlestar Galactica when it came out, and we were in that phase where the Star Wars movies were coming out, but there was a good 3-year gap in between movie. And if you're a little kid, man, you were just chomping at the bit. You needed more Star Wars. And Battlestar Galactica was pretty close. And I still think it has some of the best design work ever done. The uniforms are fantastic. The spaceships are really cool. The Cylons are really cool. I know people quibble over the quality. It was an expensive show to make. They got an order for a lot of episodes and had to turn it around quickly. So that maybe led to some quality issues. But on the whole, I love the concept, and I think it's a really good series. It's one of my favorites. So then this is the Centurion, again, based on Matt Mason. And, boy, you can't get more inaccurate to Battlestar Galactica than this guy. And I love the hair, makes me think of Straker from UFO. He's got his little laser too, and his little backpack. The batteries go up in here. So again, I have not tested these out yet, but I think they're going to make real nice display ones. And this one is in pretty darn good shape. So I might try to get a new Cylon at some point. But the Colonial Warrior is looking good. And maybe get a little closer up here. Hi, I'm neither Starbuck nor Apollo. I lurk in the shadows. So 1979, Battlestar Galactica. So now we're going to go 4 years further back. We're going to go to 1975, also Mattel. This is one that I got because I had a plan. And once I got it, I wasn't sure I wanted to go through with my plan. So what we have here is Commander Koenig, Space 1999. Again, I got a pretty good deal on this one. We have he's got the communicator over here. He's got the laser. The uniform is in pretty good shape. There's a few little smudges here and there. My initial idea, because these are based on the Sunshine family bodies that were used for dolls, essentially. The hands cannot hold the equipment. They're a little, they're kind of rail thin. The head's like a little too big. Not great, but still a pretty cool figure. And so I had this idea of, what if I get a modern Mego-style body, and I transfer the head and transfer the clothes, etc., and then it'll be like a little more posable and all that. The thing is, once I got it, it's in such good shape that I'm going, geez, I don't think I want to actually, mess with it. I think I want to leave it alone. yeah, I think maybe if I ever find one that's in like, you know, not so good a shape, but well, of course, then the uniform would be probably messed up too. Anyways, um, but I like this one. I think I'm going to keep it and leave it alone. I think Commander Koenig, Space 1999, in really good shape. I'm real happy with this one. Ultimately, we got one more. This is a line I found out about by watching, the Plaid Stallions podcasts and lurking around online. I found a few. I think actually they talked about it on Open by Chance, which is a great channel, very worthwhile. And they were talking about some, vintage figures that are not especially expensive. So I started looking around. So this is from 1974, so 1 year further back. And this is Captain Pegleg from Matchbox Lesney. These are the Fighting Furies. So there were two. This fella and one who's like bald and has kind of like a Fu Manchu mustache. I lurked around. I found one that to me was in pretty darn good shape. Now he doesn't have like a sword or anything, although you can buy different like accessory outfits and all that kind of stuff. But he was in good shape. I love the face sculpt, very dashing. It's really nice. The bottom of the peg leg opens up, so you could put a little treasure map rolled up inside there. And I looked, and sadly, the treasure map is not there. Maybe I'll make my own. Maybe I'll make a little time capsule for people to find someday. But the outfit was in good shape. The vest is a little folded, a little creased. Don't know if there's a way I can fix that. But on the whole, really good shape. And again, I got a good price on him, so I couldn't resist. I'm gonna obviously try to collect the other one since there really are only two to begin with. But he's a nice addition. And that's what I'm trying to do is collect some of these vintage toys, some that I had, some that I didn't. I don't know. There's a design aesthetic to these toys from the past that I really like. I don't know. A certain amount of love and fun seem to go into the design of these things, even though these are things kids played with, oftentimes pretty rough, destroyed a lot of. But still, well, I guess the Marvel Famous covers figures were more for adult collectors, but the vintage stuff from the 70s I'm really in love with, and want to get a few nice pieces I can display. So I guess that does it for the May toy haul. We have the Marvel Famous covers figures from ToyBiz, about 1997, 98. Highly recommend those. Go looking for them. They're not perfect, but they're very well made, and that alone just says a lot in the toy industry. We got the Battlestar Galactica 12-inch figures from 1979 Mattel. We got Mattel's Space 1999 Commander Koenig figure from 1975, and 1974's Fighting Furies Captain Pegleg from Matchbox Lesney. That'll do it today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe if you will. And if you didn't like the video, well, that's okay. Hopefully, you're not swearing blood vengeance against me for making it. Have a good day. Be kind to one another. And I will see you again on another Dad's Den of pop culture.